Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to paint this beautiful looking barn owl in watercolors. And for that I'm going to explain you the entire painting in 5 easy steps. The first step being drawing our outline, and I would like to tell you guys that spend the maximum amount of your time doing this, because if your outline is wrong or incorrect or the proportions are not there, the final painting won't look as good. And as you can see, I am again using my favorite orange colored pencil, and yes, this is not the watercolor pencil, this is a general colored pencil. And you can see that I'm just going over things again and again and just removing some parts and just putting an outline down. I have taken my reference from pixels, and I will post the link in description so you guys can have the image alongside also. Now I am doing the first wash here, and this is basically of yellow ochre. And guys, in this painting I am going to use just three main colors, that is yellow ochre, burnt sienna and black, and a little bit of blue, so that makes it four. Yeah, and if you count the white at the end I'm going to use, then that is five. So second step, as you can see, is putting down our lightest wash of yellow ochre. I'm just creating the lightest shade on his body, because uh, I'm not very comfortable in showing the feathers completely white, and I want it to have a kind of a shine, so I am doing it in yellow ochre. And this has to be very done very carefully, because you don't want the wash to dry out while you're doing it, so do it quickly enough so that you don't have rough edges. And just, yeah, just take care of that part, that you don't have edges. And on the face, make sure you preserve the white. See, I have not touched the white on his face at all. This is the first wash, and now we'll let it dry for some time, and we'll move on to our second wash, or the second layer. And this will be of darker shade, so I'm mixing the burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Here the burnt sienna of course is more. If you look closely enough, you'll see that I have left out some space while doing the bottom section of this painting. That is the reason behind that being, I want to showcase the feathers in that way, that manner. The empty portions that I have left below will work as highlights for me later on, and will show the feathers very beautifully. Here you can see me mixing burnt sienna and yellow ochre, and in the reference picture the left and the right side have darker patches, so I am using burnt sienna for this one. And guys, for feathers, I have done multiple paintings and failed when I tried to do the feathers one by one. And this is the best way that I found out, that this is the way that shows the feathers and yet keeps them less detailed, I guess. Here I'm doing the face, and there's some amount of tiny dots and shapes that are around his face that makes the face really stand out. This on the bottom section, what you can see is a darker layer of burnt sienna. This is basically the shadow on the bottom section of his face. And I'm just going over the eyes very carefully, and just making a burnt sienna wash on the eyes as well. Later on we'll be painting them black, but I want to give everything burnt sienna and yellow ochre feel. See, even if you spot right now, there are many sections on his face that are completely white, and I want to preserve that till the end of the painting. So here this step is over here, and we'll let this dry for like 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll get back to this with our next step. Next step is the darkest shade. So when you look at the photo, you will know that there are some light shades, some dark ones, and some darkest ones there. In this layer we are going to paint the darkest ones. So I have mixed a little bit of black. I tried mixing a little bit of blue as well and experimenting. So I've mixed a little bit of black, a bit of blue, and burnt sienna and yellow ochre. So this will give me a very different kind of a shade, and it will darken the areas that I need to darken. So with this layer I'm just going to darken things as much as I can, but in a very subtle manner. You can notice that I'm not using the black directly as of now. Even later I'm not going to use black directly, except for the eyes maybe, I don't know. But here I'm going over the face, around the face in fact, with the burnt sienna, and this is just the burnt sienna, nothing else. And I would like to share one more thing about this painting. For you guys to understand that art is a process and you just don't get things right in the first attempt. Because many of the videos that you see, you just watch them and you feel that, oh my god, this artist has such amazing skills and that I can't do this. My first attempt didn't turn out that way. The fact is that the artist probably did it 5 times, 6 times in their life or in the past 1 year, and they have improved. I will share a painting of this owl that I had painted, I think 3 or 4 years back. And I don't know, I was very confident back then. But now, when I compare and look at these paintings, two paintings together, I see a lot of improvement, and that is the way ahead, guys. Just don't give up on your art. It has to be done. You need to give your best to your art. And going back to the painting, I have taken the black, as I told you. For the eyes, I might have to take it. You have seen me picking up color before also. Here I'm doing it with a zero number brush and I'm picking up color. I did use a tissue paper as well, because I think that's the best way to create the shine that owl's eye has. I'll probably use a gel pen also at the end, white gel pen, but there is a different kind of a shine in his eyes, which I need to create through lighter shades of black. I could have used gray, but it's too late now for me to use gray, and I personally also like this method better. Now I'm just taking the zero number brush and taking a mixture of yellow ochre and burnt sienna and looking at the picture very carefully. So at this stage, I'm just looking at the picture, looking at my painting, and seeing and noticing that this area needs to be darkened, or this area can be worked upon a bit more to pop out things more. Like you see, the eyes have started to pop out a lot more when I did the burnt sienna part on the bottom of the eye. And here I'm also going over the beak area to just make it stand out more. You can see I'm painting tiny little hair or feathers, feather like things, to give it a more, bird effect, to have that bird feather effect. And you can see that this has started looking really good right now, but there are some things that are missing. So I'm here mixing black and burnt sienna, and I'm going to make abstract dots. You can't call them dots, but these are abstract shapes that you can see in the picture, in the reference image. And I think this is why I love watercolors, that it gives you so much of freedom of doing things that I don't know, but I am not that good with acrylics. Maybe that's why I feel limited with that medium. But just watercolors just make everything possible, guys, if you fall in love with it and if you accept it with all its limitations. As you can see here, I'm just painting the abstract shapes, and notice that I'm taking absolutely like the least amount of water that I can, because if I take more water, the chances of them spreading is far more, and I don't want that right now. I want these shapes to stand out, because anyways the rest of the painting is kind of a loose painting, so I want some shapes to stand out, and for that I'm going to do the detailing, and this is one of those. So I'm just looking at the reference image and I'm just placing my abstract shapes here and there and putting them down. And I just love the way it's looking right now. I hope you guys also are enjoying the video, and if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I need your support, guys. That's how I keep painting. That's what keeps me going, and that's the motivation. And yeah, so on his head there is a cluster of these abstract shapes. So I'm doing those, and while doing this, I think I took the maximum time for doing this part. I really wanted to stand out very perfectly. At times, I also used a bit more black on some areas for these abstract shapes. At some places, there it was more of burnt sienna. So it's okay because it's nature and it's a bird. It has to look real. If it has to look a bit real, then yes. And now I'm going over the beak with a bit of burnt sienna, and I'm just putting down some strains of lines that you know give you an effect of a feather. So yeah, as you can see, I just dropped some paint on the side of the paper and I had to pick it up. Now, like I had told you guys before, I'm going to be using this white gel pen. I love it. I think that's the best way to do the highlights at the very end. And also, I noticed in the reference picture that these abstract dots have a little bit of white on one of its side or on both of its side. For this, I had to zoom into the picture. Though I don't think this will make a hell lot of a difference to the final painting, but I think our eyes subconsciously pick up a lot of things. So I want to be perfect, if I can say that. And I'm not joking, guys. I made this at night, and the way the owl's eyes were looking at me, I was kind of getting hypnotized by it. I personally, I love owls. I think they are a very uh, mysterious and mystical creatures, creatures that are always a part of a fairy tale and also always a part of a horror movie. So yeah, there, that is, I think that describes every artist's life also, because it's torn into two parts. I have seen many artists who are working, having a day job, and then pursuing their passion in art separately, taking out time, and I salute all of them. And I don't think it is easy, and I don't think anything is easy. So if you're doing this, if you're watching this, if you're trying to improve, then believe me, I'm with you. I am a self learning artist myself, and I would like to share my knowledge with you guys because I know how difficult it is to understand some techniques or something and just give up. I have also given up many times. I have had failed paintings. I have done paintings that looked like I don't want to even share. So it's not the end. I am telling you, it's not the end. It's just the beginning. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 40, if you're 60, or even if you're 80. You just need to start, man. You need to start following your passion. So yeah, with the painting, this is the final painting, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just went a lot into a details while talking. I hope you like this. Do subscribe to the channel if you like my artwork and my art. Thank you for watching. Bye.